The Bisons traveled on the road last week away from Salem Field. Let's take a look back at some of the action on this week's road trip recap. The Bisons finished out the first half of the 2025 season with a 6-game series at Polar Park against the Worcester Red Sox, Buffalo winning a pair along the way. In the opening game of the series, Worcester would open up a 5-0 lead over Buffalo, thanks in part to a 4-run bottom of the fifth. But then the Bisons' offense would go to work, eventually getting what would be the go-ahead run in scoring position late in the game, but unable to cash him in. Joey Loperfito's first hit of the week, one of 4 multi-hit performances on the week for the Bisons, was a double leading off the top of the 6th. He would eventually score Buffalo's first run of the game. The Bisons cashed in runs in the top of the 7th as well after Yohendrick Pinango and Ali Sanchez had back-to-back base hits leading off the inning. They both would eventually score, trimming the Bison deficit to 5-3, and then Pinango, his second hit in as many innings, was an RBI double, making it 5-4. He was in scoring position, but unable to score the go-ahead run for Buffalo in the 5-4 series opening loss. Then in Game 2 of the series, Max Scherzer shined on the mound for Buffalo, 4 1/3 innings in his second Major League injury rehab start, striking out 8 along the way and allowing the Bisons offense to do some damage in the top of the second inning. 5 runs in the top of the second for Buffalo, who brought 11 men to the plate overall in the inning, and at one point, 4 straight run-producing at-bats for the Bisons, started by Josh Rivera's RBI base hit, and that was followed by bases-loaded walks to Will Wagner and Michael Stefanik, and then an RBI base hit by Nathan Lucas, who was on a Major League injury rehab assignment with Buffalo. After that RBI base hit there, in the third, also cashing in an RBI on a fielder's choice, and then clubbed a 3-run home run as part of his 4 at-bats in the game. That 3-run homer helping the Bisons' cause in the 5th. It would be his final at-bat of the night, and the Bisons at that point had an 11-0 lead over Worcester. The Woo Sox would score their lone run of the game in the bottom of the 6th, but then again the Bisons cashing in more offense. Joey Loperfito an RBI double, Riley Tirada a sacrifice fly as well, and then Rainer Nunez clubbing his 6th home run of the season, the exclamation point on the 14-1 victory by Buffalo in Game 2 as the team split the first 2 games of the series. On Thursday night, the Woo Sox would come away with a 9-4 victory over Buffalo, and Nathan Lucas once again in the lineup for the Bisons went 1 for 3 at the plate. Yohendrick Pinango had 2 RBIs in the loss as well. The Bisons actually would score first. Pinango's RBI double cashed into Loperfito, one of his 2 hits on the night. Ali Sanchez with an RBI base hit, scoring Pinango as well. But back-to-back 4-run innings for Worcester were too much for the Bisons to overcome, and it would eventually result in a Woo Sox victory. After taking Friday night's contest as well, the Bisons bounced back on Saturday against Worcester with a 10-6 back-and-forth contest at Polar Park, where the Bisons once again would score first. 2 runs in the top of the first inning, the first of 2 home runs, not only on the day, but on the season for Michael Stefanik, who had finished the week with 3 homers overall. A 2-run shot by Stefanik gave Buffalo an early 2-0 lead. Will Wagner scored on the 2-run homer. Worcester tried to answer in the bottom of the second, cashing in 1 run against C.J. Van Eyck. The Bison started going 4 1/3 innings for Buffalo in the start. Kevin Gowdy eventually picking up the win, his first in a Bison uniform, going 2/3 of an inning as well, helping to finish out the bottom of the 5th for Buffalo. And eventually, the Bisons trailed 5-4. After a 2-run base hit by Riley Tirada that gave Buffalo a 4-1 lead after 2, it was a 4 spot in the bottom of the 4th by the Worcester Red Sox that allowed them to take the lead. And then eventually, it was a 6-4 lead for the Woo Sox through 5. And then the Bisons offense, once again, late magic going to work. 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and the exclamation point in the 9th as well. For Stefanik, once again ignited the offense with a 2-run home run that capped the frame. Josh Rivera with an RBI base hit. Before that, it would be Rivera and Stefanik scoring on his 2nd homer of the game, his first multi-homer game as a member of the Bisons. And then the Herd would cash in a couple of more in the 8th, 1 more in the 9th against the Woo Sox for their 2nd and final victory in the first half of the season. Sunday's marathon saw both teams score double-digit runs, and again, the Bisons struck first for Joey Loperfito, a 2-run home run in the top of the first inning that gave the Bisons an early 2-0 lead. It was back and forth, seesawing all afternoon long. Loperfito, one of several home runs on the day for the Bisons, as they had 3 home runs overall on the game. Yohendrick Pinango had a solo homer as well. That was in the top of the 3rd inning that gave Buffalo a 3-1 lead at the time. Then Michael Stefanik coming through with a grand slam in the top of the 5th inning that brought Buffalo within a couple of runs at the time. Worcester with an 11-8 lead over Buffalo. They would add 1 in the bottom of the 5th. The Bisons, again, some late offense in the 7th, had 2 runs to get within 2. But that was it, as the Worcester Red Sox bullpen was able to shut things down. Eventually, Alex Hoppe finished things out and allowed the Woo Sox to come away with a 2-run victory. For Joey Loperfido, 4 multi-hit games on the week, 9 for 26 in the series, hitting .346 to go along with the 3-homer week for Michael Stefanik, a couple of Bison offensive leaders, rolling into the second half of the season that begins Tuesday night at Salem Field, part of a 9-game, 10-day homestand, which sees the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs head to downtown Buffalo for their first of 2 visits this year, starting on Tuesday, June 24th. An Irish Heritage Night at the ballpark, followed by a second chance car giveaway presented by the Buffalo Auto Show on Wednesday afternoon. Note the afternoon start time for the Bisons. Thursday night, lacrosse night at the ballpark, followed by another Honda Friday Night Bash as we celebrate the summer with everyone's favorite mascot. Saturday and Sunday as well. Great offerings at the ballpark, and it all leads into the Independence Eve celebration just over a week away as the Bisons begin the back half of their 9-game homestand Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, for the 29th annual KeyBank Independence Eve celebration with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra as the Bisons welcome in the Rochester Red Wings. For this road trip recap, I'm Pat Malacaro.